Connecticut has regained only 74% of the jobs lost during its 2008 to 2010 recession, lagging well behind neighboring states. I'm Eric Clemons for Comcast Newsmakers at Comcast's Connecticut studio. The Connecticut Department of Labor Commissioner Scott Jackson joins Newsmakers now. Scott, welcome back to the program. Great to have you.
Happy to be with you today, Eric.
Tell us, what are the priorities of the Connecticut Labor Department?
Well, we're a pretty well-distributed agency. We have a lot of different functions, including managing the unemployment insurance program, employment services for folks looking for jobs, wage and workplace standards for folks who want to make sure that they get paid what they're supposed to get paid and on time. We also have an Office of Research that is sort of my favorite, being a data person.
Okay, all right. How does Connecticut manage the delivery of the unemployment benefit system?
Well, it's a very complicated system. It's a federal system that is managed in 54 different ways in 54 different jurisdictions around the country. And ours is one of the most robust systems, but that comes with a price tag. And so as we look at unemployment delivery today, we have a peak season from right before Christmas to early February. And 2 years ago, we had 73 people answering the phones for that system.
Wow.
This peak season, we could afford to have 35. So we're moving a lot more into the internet basis for filing claims and hoping that technology can take care of some of the problems with the budget, frankly.
Tell us, what impact does the federal budget have on the work of the state labor department?
Well, our department is actually 80% federally funded between employment services and unemployment. So as the federal budget shrinks, it shrinks our capacity to do good work. We're a little bit concerned right now because what they call the skinny budget, the framework of the federal budget this year, cuts the Department of Labor funding by 21%. Right. And so that means a lot to us, particularly as we look at job training programs for our major companies like Electric Boat and Sikorsky and Pratt that have such massive contracts coming down the line, and we want to make sure that there's a trained workforce for it. But it also hits us pretty hard on the unemployment insurance side because of the lack of capacity to take those incoming calls.
Tell us, what's currently being done with the American Job Centers?
Well, we're moving the job centers back into a different space. For a generation, there was no unemployment in the job centers. But people are starting to realize that unemployment to job search is really a continuum. They're not two separate activities. Okay. So we're using the job centers as a mechanism to bring in people to the job centers to see what great services we can provide there all the time. So while they're there getting unemployment service, they can also talk to a job counselor or a career development specialist. They can look at the board to see what opportunities are out there and really figure out how to improve their resume and what other classes they may be able to take in terms of making themselves a more desirable candidate.
Now, for the first time in a generation or so, there's a renewed interest in apprenticeships. Why the change there?
Well, apprenticeship used to be a dirty word because factories were dirty. So, so it became the American dream to go to college and you have to do a 4-year college and you avoid that factory life that was at the time dirty and dangerous. But it's not anymore. Advanced manufacturing is incredibly clean and incredibly safe and requires a huge sort of an academic mindset around it. If you're using computers to control the machinery, you have to understand what you're doing, and you have to sort of have a programming and engineering kind of a frame set. And so we're looking at boosting apprenticeships again because the world has changed around factories. The average age of a manufacturing employee in the state of Connecticut is 60.
Wow. So
we see a great opportunity for young people getting into the field so that they can really, these are high-paying jobs, they're long-lasting jobs, and they're the type of jobs that make families strong and communities strong.
Commissioner, thank you so much for being with us on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. For more Newsmakers, go to ComcastNewsmakers.com. I'm Eric Clemons. See you next time.